666 days. Gunther currently holds the record of the longest Intercontinental title reign in WWE history. But how good was it? Let's find out. Before 2022, the Intercontinental title was lost in the shuffle. A belt that once launched legends like Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, and Randy Savage had become a mid-card prop. Fans didn't care because WWE didn't care. The IC title is one of my favorite titles of all time because of what it represented. The workhorses that delivered high quality matches consistently, night in and night out. Today we're breaking down Gunther's run in three ways: the reign itself, the opponents who tested him, and the legacy that he leaves behind. In the end, I'll decide where it lands on the rain check scale, whether it was a flop, solid, main event, or legendary. Spoiler alert, it definitely was not the first two. Gunther's reign lasted from June 2022 to April 2024, totaling 666 days, which is the longest Intercontinental Championship reign in history. Gunther surpassed Pedro Morales, who was the previous record holder, at 619 days across two reigns, a 41-year record. Sami Zayn shockingly defeated Gunther at WrestleMania 40 to end his historic run. During Gunther's run as Intercontinental Champion, he set a new standard: brutal, hard-hitting matches where he showed no mercy to those who opposed him. Gunther defended his Intercontinental Championship against a variety of opponents, but there are 5 who truly made this run great. Let's start with Sheamus, that legendary match at Clash at the Castle back in 2022, which was a match of the year. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, that epic triple threat match at WrestleMania 39. He had Chad Gable on Raw. He had The Miz at Survivor Series. And ultimately Sami Zayn, underdog who defeated the Ring General. What made Gunther's run so special is that he brought prestige back to the Intercontinental title. Prior to his reign, the title was treated as an afterthought. It was clear that WWE did not care about the title. Not only did he bring prestige back to the title, he elevated every wrestler he competed against, and it eventually led to him becoming World Heavyweight Champion. In order for us to truly appreciate his run, we gotta take a look at who Gunther is. Gunther believes in prestige and honor, and is defined by his no-nonsense approach. He's not flashy, he's not a catchphrase machine, he just goes out and gets the job done. Gunther calls himself their ring general, a master technician in the ring. He has a deep bag of submission holds and will chop his opponent's chest in repeatedly. He reminds me of the old school wrestlers of the 80s and 70s. And also, Gunther had undergone a massive transformation, going from over 300 pounds to around 250 back in 2022. Now, some would argue that this was the reason why he got such a massive push. Gunther defended the title consistently against a variety of opponents, but let's dive deep into the ones that previously mentioned. After victories over Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura, Gunther met a true test in the form of Sheamus, the 270-pound Celtic warrior, who was on a mission to become Intercontinental Champion. Sheamus has won every single title in WWE except the Intercontinental title, as of the time of filming this video. Sheamus, like Gunther, is also known for his hard-hitting style in the ring. This led to a brutal clash between the two at 2022's Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, Wales. Now, that match is one of my favorite matches of the past decade. Now, if you have not watched that match, you need to, because they beat the brakes off each other. I'm talking real grabs. Now, as Big E would say,
big meaty man slapping me.
One thing I found interesting about this Sheamus and Gunther rivalry is that when they stared each other down, you would have the Brawling Brutes who were on Sheamus' side, and you had Imperium who were on Gunther's side. They would brawl like right before the match, and while Gunther and Sheamus were staring each other down. That showed that the only thing that mattered between Gunther and Sheamus was that Intercontinental Championship. Gunther's matches against Sheamus were a combination of storytelling and hard-hitting wrestling. Now, I'm curious, do y'all think that Sheamus should have defeated Gunther? Let me know in the comments. Another formidable opponent came in the form of Drew McIntyre, the 275-pound Scottish warrior. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, who were both feuding with the Bloodline around 2022, had formed an alliance along with the Brawling Brutes to fight off the Bloodline. After unsuccessfully challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE title at Clash at the Castle, Drew eventually set his sights on Gunther. Sheamus, who felt he had unfinished business with Gunther, inserted himself into the picture. Now, this led to tension between Sheamus and Drew. Sheamus was hell-bent on winning the Intercontinental title, the one title that eluded him throughout his career, and he felt that Drew was trying to take that opportunity away from him. This led to a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. This match was an absolute banger. I would even say that it was one of the best triple threat matches of all time. Gunther defeated both Sheamus and Drew in a match for the ages. Now, an unexpected challenger came in the form of Chad Gable, an Olympian turned WWE superstar. Prior to challenging Gunther, Gable was winning tag team gold and hadn't really broke out as a singles competitor. For a while, he was known as Shorty G, which was one of Vince's terrible ideas. Gable dropped that name and formed the Alpha Academy along with Otis, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa. Coming off a feud with the War Raiders, Gable won a fatal 4-way match on Raw to become the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. 2 weeks later, Gable defeated Gunther, but it was via countout. Now, of course, the title cannot change hands on the countout, so Gunther remained the champion. However, Gable did break Gunther's undefeated singles streak on the main roster. Gable would get a rematch a week later, but he was unsuccessful, as the Ring General remained supreme. Now, this failure turned into obsession for Gable, because he was also hell-bent on becoming champion. He eventually took his frustrations out on Sami Zayn and his group, the Alpha Academy. Now, I don't know why, but I just love seeing when wrestlers become obsessed with becoming champion. It reminds me of when Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion back in the early 2000s. That man was obsessed with that title. Now, another surprising challenger was The Miz, who is one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time. Now, I remember vividly one of my favorite moments of The Miz as Intercontinental champion, the infamous Talking Smack promo back in 2016, where he went off on Daniel Bryan, who called Miz a coward. Also, the rivalry that followed with Dolph Ziggler. The Miz is a great talker on the mic, and honestly, The Miz does not get enough credit. He's an 8-time Intercontinental champion with the second most reigns behind Chris Jericho, who holds the record with 9 reigns. On the October 30th, 2022 episode of Raw, The Miz confronted Gunther on Miz TV before it being attacked by Imperium. The following week, The Miz earned a title shot against Gunther at Survivor Series. Now, however, The Miz was unsuccessful. He lost again against Gunther, only this time The Miz could not challenge for the title as long as Gunther remained the champion. Nobody was touching the Ring General until this man showed up. Sami Zayn, the former Honorary Uce, the underdog from the underground. Sami Zayn, prior to challenging Gunther, was a significant part of one of the most thrilling storylines in WWE history, the Bloodline. After coming off a feud with the Judgment Day, Sami Zayn set his sights on championship gold. He won a gauntlet match to earn an Intercontinental title against Gunther at WrestleMania 40. Now, heading into this match, he was trained by the previously mentioned Chad Gable. Sami Zayn shockingly defeated Gunther to win the Intercontinental title, ending Gunther's reign at 666 days, giving his first pinfall loss on the main roster. Now, Zayn's win over Gunther was a bit controversial. Many people believe that he was not the right person to defeat Gunther, and I agree. I believe Sheamus should have been the one to defeat Gunther. Not initially, but somewhere down the line. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. Gunther brought prestige back to the Intercontinental title, a title that had lost its aura. When people think of that title, they think of the workhorses who dedicated themselves to the craft. They show up, night in and night out, and put on a show for the fans. Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Chris Jericho, The Miz, and now Gunther. Gunther has cemented his name in history as the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time. He elevated the division around him and set himself up for even greater success. Gunther immediately pursued the World Heavyweight Championship after losing the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I know Gunther is not everyone's cup of tea, but I have a deep appreciation for what this man brings to the table. He doesn't need to be the flashiest wrestler on the roster with the flashiest gear, the flashiest moves. He just stands on business. Now, this quote from Gunther really stood out to me. He says, "To the surprise of absolutely nobody, the Ring General has rewritten history. I am now officially the longest reigning and greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion in history. First, I want to share some words about all of the legends who have held this great title before. You contributed absolutely nothing. I elevated this championship to heights never seen before. And as far as I understand, I'm running a little bit out of competition here. From now on, it seems like I am only competing against myself. Gunther said this during his Intercontinental Championship run. And Gunther basically sent a message to everybody, to all the legends, and to everyone who dared cross him. Like, he was like, look, I ain't got nobody to compete against. I'm the best, and can't nobody stop me. The ring general believed that he was on a level far different from everybody else. This wasn't just about holding a belt. It was about making it mean something. Every time Gunther defended that title, it was a big fight feel. Now, some might see it as a run that dragged too long, but for me, it is legendary. What made it so great is that legitimacy that Gunther brought to the title, that big fight feel that came with every single title defense. So that's my rank check. But where do you rank Gunther's Intercontinental title run? Legendary? Main event? So drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Next time, we're looking at Becky Lynch's double championship run, Becky 2 belts, and I got a lot to say about that. If you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and if no one else told you, you matter. You were put on this earth to be great.